is we're going to draw the cupola, and we're going to get Bill down here in the bottom screen here. Hey, we have Istanbul. Good to see you. I'm waiting for Bill to send me a request. Okay, here we go. View request. Heather Lloyd, I'm not going to let you come on today because I'm going to have Bill Foster. So there's Bill Foster. I'm going to accept Bill. And all right, do you hear me on YouTube? Oh, there's Bill. 1 second. We're having a little
YouTube. Let me plug it
here. All right. Now, how's the YouTube? Good morning, Patty. Can you guys hear me on YouTube? Coffee in Mississippi. Hello, hello. Good to see you guys. 1 second. There's Bill looking all Mr. Cool, handsome guy. So I'm going to shrink this. There we go. All right. Hey, Jason, can you jump on to YouTube? YouTube, the sound is good. Okay. So, hi, Bill. So I'm going to zoom in and we can start this big, wonderful, exciting show. I'm going to focus that. You look great on Instagram and Facebook. I want to welcome everybody. This is my good dear friend, Bill, Mr. Bill. His name is William Foster, and he's down there in Houston. He's at his home spending part of his day off to share his story with us. So we're really excited to have you. And I told you a little bit about Bill. Bill is has been a friend of mine for years, and Bill, you guys, your son and your daughter saw me on TV when they were younger. Is that right?
They did. They used to watch you years ago. It couldn't have been that many years because you're still young.
Yeah. Love you. So.
But yeah, they watched. You came to their school, and big fans. My daughter really credits you a lot with her drawing ability today, which is incredible.
Oh, that's so great. Anyhow, so tell us your title, and then I'll start asking you some really important, profound, poignant questions.
Okay. My title is Ground Control Officer. I'm part of the team that sits in the front room of mission control, whether it's for International Space Station, Artemis missions, Starliner missions, or back in the day during space shuttle missions. I came a little bit too late for the Apollo and earlier, but I did work either as an engineer or as a ground controller for all space shuttle missions. And basically that's what I do. I report to the flight director, who's responsible for the safety of the crews in space, the health of their spacecraft, and then meeting all of our mission objectives in that order of priority. And I'm one of about 16 positions in the room that report to flight on status and conditions of the systems that we are individually responsible for.
So you're down on the floor in the room, and you've invited me there graciously a few times to go down on the floor and actually look up at the screens at the astronauts floating around doing their scientific experiments, and seeing you at your station there with your headset, and you actually communicate at times with the astronauts up there, correct?
Not too often. Yeah, we have a CAPCOM, a capsule communicator position that talks directly to the astronaut in mission control. And then shortly after the Butch and Sonny got in orbit on the crew flight test last year, he called me from space on my phone, which I was driving into work and had a phone call and answered, and it was Butch up in space, which was really impressive. He was just calling to say hi and thank me for my part of getting him up there safely. So quite a surprise.
That you just took care of one of my questions. Is one of the most memorable. Boy, that certainly categorizes one of the memorable. Getting a phone call from the International Space Station. You know, if I had a dime for every time someone told me that, you know. Oh, sorry, I got to put you on hold. I'm getting a call from ISS.
But the funny thing is, immediately after that, I called my wife, Debbie, because, I was excited.
Yeah.
And I thought she would be excited, and she said, "I don't have time to talk right now. I'm getting the dog's rabies vaccinations."
Oh, of course, you know. So I mean,
So,
she's been supporting you and your career for what 40 years now. So this is humdrum for her, you know.
well, she
So
grew up in the same program, so but we did talk about it later, and she was excited for me. But
yeah,
first you got to get those puppies vaccinated.
well, I'm glad you got your little yapping tiny hamster dogs vaccinated. Um, I say that because I was down there with them, with Debbie and Bill, and their dog is so excitable. Cute little dog. I gotta say, pair of lungs on that little pup. So, okay, thank you for that memorable. Now I'm gonna everybody out there, feel free to ask questions. We got Bill here, special guest from NASA down in Houston. I'm in San Diego, and we're gonna do a location check. And I'm going to switch my camera here just a second. I got to, we have Istanbul, I know that, but before we get going here, hold on a second, guys. I got to get we're going to draw the cupola. I'll show you that in just a second. Obviously, I'm a little starstruck here, having my buddy on here. So, all right, let's do a location check. And I know we have Istanbul. I have to move this camera up so I can get in there. So we have San Diego from me down here in San Diego to talk with Bill. We have Istanbul. I got to spell it right. We have Massachusetts. Everybody say hi to Mr. Bill. M-A-S-S-A. Bill, spell Massachusetts without looking, can you? I can never do it. And we have North Carolina. And I got some great questions to ask you guys. So, Bill, I'll just keep doing these. We have Denmark. Say hi to Denmark, Bill.
Hello, Denmark.
We have Denmark, and I know we have Istanbul. I got to see how to spell it here. Hello, where is that? Where's Istanbul here? We have Joshua from Virginia. Mississippi. Hello, Mississippi. Mississippi. Hello, guys. North Carolina. I always like to get all where they're from so we can post this. It's always fun to see how many. We've got Texas. We got Carissa from Texas down there in your neck of woods, Bill. There's Istanbul. We have Art Lab from Istanbul. Istanbul. All right, I'll just go back one more. We got Germany. Say hi to Germany, Bill.
Hello, Germany.
Hello, Germany. All right, so I'll come back to this, and I might just be writing these as you're talking. But look at Linda from British Columbia. She says she's starstruck too. She's been wanting to walk on the moon forever. And we have Spain and Oregon, by the way. Bill, say hi to Spain.
Hola.
And then there's Canada. Hi, Canada. And there's Mexico. We got Tijuana. Hello, Mexico. We got a lot of logins this wonderful Sunday morning. All right, so Bill, now we're gonna put you back on Facebook. There you are, you handsome devil. And I see that you have some of your really important memorabilia behind you on the shelf behind you. And here, I was looking for the hat. Where's the hat I gave you? What? You don't have the hat I gave you up there? Oh my gosh!
What is wrong with me?
Yeah, no, it's up there. Hey, now. Oh, haha! I knew it. I knew you had it. That's awesome. So yeah, Bill, I gave Bill one of our hats that we did at the production of the movie. That was fun. Yeah, you're awesome. Yeah, that was at the Santa Barbara production facility. We had all the crew sign up for Bill. Okay, so questions, you guys. Go ahead and send me questions. Lisa Blackaby's here from Brazil. Let's get Brazil up here. And so, Bill, tell us when did you first get interested in human space exploration?
I think the first time I had any real exposure to it was in first grade. They took us down to the auditorium, or the cafetorium they called it. It was half cafeteria, half auditorium, and we watched John Glenn launch into space on Friendship 7 back in 1962. Years went by. You're watching as we get ready to go to the moon, and we see some of the triumphs. Sometimes you see the spacecraft flying over your neighborhood way up high, a little star crossing the sky. Then we had the Apollo 1 fire that was a real tragedy, a real setback. But then we moved on beyond that. They fixed the problems. We landed on the moon. I was 14 years old, sitting on the floor of my parents' house, watching this grainy black.
I remember that too, Bill. I was in the. How old were you?
14.
Okay, 14. I was. I think I was. Well, I'm 61. How old are you, Bill?
I'm 70.
Okay, so you're 9 years older. So I would have been in So I don't remember that first flight, but I remember being 10 years old in 5th grade, watching it in my classroom, and I must have been like Apollo, I don't know, 7 or 8 or something, But anyways, that was never forget those memories of the early Apollo flights.
And then I moved on, but I started to change scope. I was on a high school newspaper. I thought I wanted a career in journalism, and got into school on that, and it was a really boring subject at school. Moved to an electrical engineering degree, and from there to a physics degree in electro-optics, which back in the late 70s, that dealt with lasers, which,
wow.
Other than James Bond being strapped to a table with a laser coming at him, you didn't know too much about it. But it was interesting. But where I went to school was out the back, just outside the back gate of the Johnson Space Center, and that ultimately led me to a job with Ford Aerospace as a data communications engineer. So I was interested early on in space. I followed it. And then I started going in a different direction, but I got drawn back almost coincidentally into a career at Mission Control.
Well, I just got a question, Bill, from, let's see here, Spread Your Sparkle. This is Kathy. Kathy, Spread Your Sparkle. I believe, Kathy, I always forget, it's Texas or North Carolina she's from. She said, what is one of the biggest challenges that you faced in being ground control, and how'd you handle it?
It's there are a lot of things that you have to do to be a ground controller or any flight control positions. But one of the biggest challenges, and this is true in other industries as well, is the schedules we have to keep. As a ground controller, or again, any position there, you're working 24/7 supporting ISS. We'll always have people in mission control. And sometimes you're working middle of the night, sometimes you're working in the afternoon, evening, sometimes early during the day through the afternoon. And that schedule moves around on a fairly regular basis. So you never really get a chance to get your circadian rhythm sort of locked in. So the biggest challenge is just working your family life and your sleep cycles to where you can adjust and support the times you need to. I know in some industries you can get on a shift and you stay there forever for at least several weeks. And in this industry, you could be moving between shifts multiple times in the same week. So surprisingly, just getting the sleep, getting the shifting, getting yourself ready for console is one of the biggest challenges.
How many years you been there at NASA?
I've been at NASA 45 years. I've been a ground controller 28 of those years. I was an engineer before that. So for the last 28 years, I've been bouncing around sleep schedules.
Yeah, I had started talking to you about doing a guest appearance here on my live Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube when you had that. They had a special acknowledgement for you for 45 years of dedicated service to NASA. That was, 2 months ago?
Yeah, in May.
Yeah, congratulations. That was a wonderful pictures and post. It was really cool. And I saw that picture of the fellow who wrote the Apollo 13 missed moon.
Jim Lovell. Yes.
Yeah, and you've met him several times, right?
I never met him. I've met Fred Hayes several times, who was on the Apollo 13 mission with him, and I've met quite a few of the older astronauts, but I never had a chance to meet Jim Lovell.
Well, you've met a lot of the astronauts there in your capacity as ground control.
I work with them. In fact, it's kind of interesting because one of the things that I do a lot of is I arrange to have decals and plaques made working through a NASA photo lab. And a few weeks ago, the commander of the Artemis II mission coming up, Ray Wiseman, showed up in my office along with one of the flight directors, and he was looking for decals for his mission. And I gave him some, and I had some plaques sitting there, and I said, "Would you like some plaques?" And he said, "I don't want to take your plaques." I said, "These are your plaques, sir." And he ended up going out with 6 of them, and then just 2 days ago on Friday, one of the other Artemis II astronauts showed up to pick up some more decals. So you get a chance to work with him on console, and you get a chance to meet him, you know, in more relaxed situations like that. So it's one of the perks of working there.
Well, can I share some of these plaques and these designs you made? But first of all, last time I was there, do you remember giving me this coin here?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, this is. Tell me about this.
So that coin, you're looking at the flight operations logo. A lot of our organizations have logo. I'm wearing the ground control logo for my position that I helped design several years back. But flight operations, the original version of that, was created by an artist, Robert McCall, for Gene Kranz shortly after the final Apollo mission, Apollo 17. And it's been the representative of our organization ever since then. It's gone through 7 different revisions. Most recently, it's had Artemis added to it. And there you're looking at the ground control logo. And just recently, Commander, I have unveiled a U coin. I'm going to show it to you, and you'll get one of these. But it is, I got to get it out of its package.
Well, what you doing that? These are.
It has the GC logo on the back of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let's see if I can get this. It has our new.
Oh yeah, just hold it still right there. That's awesome. And who designed that one?
I did.
You're so. See, Bill doesn't really talk about his artistic graphic skill, but it's really awesome. You gotta. Now, can I show him some of these mouse pads you've done?
You bet.
Okay, so Bill signed this for me. I got to zoom it out so you can see it. And let me zoom this out. But these are, Bill, I have this whole bag I just ripped out from my closet. But this is one of them. This is a thick plaque that, you put these up on the wall in Houston Control. This I can't really show you, but it's a real thick illustration board. And I just dropped it all over the floor, Bill, all over my office floor. But I still have like 100 of these. I collect them all. Every time you give me them, I collect them. There's the NASA logo. Tell me about this one right here.
That's the International Space Station patch. So that represents, you can see the flags of the different countries that are involved in the International Space Station. And a view of it overhead above the Earth. Every program, and that's a program patch, or program logo. Every program has its own logos for Artemis. In fact, I have.
And what about that one right there?
That is the ground control logo. That one's gone through a few revisions over time. In fact, that is an older version of it. You see, on the newest version, it's got the Moon, Mars.
Oh, there we go.
And Earth above it. It's very similar, just it's got another icon at the bottom.
Sorry, I'm dropping things, but I'm trying to show everybody on YouTube and Facebook these. Denmark says hi, Bill. Denmark's on board.
Hello, Denmark.
So, this is cool.
All the programs have different logos.
Look at
now,
that one.
2030 Space Station, that is when we are planning to bring it down to deorbit the space station. It is been up there since 1998, different components, and it's been completed since around the 2010 time frame. So parts of it are almost 30 years old. Parts of it a little bit younger, but you can't keep something forever. It wears out.
Yeah.
And we're planning on continuing to use it until 2030, and then there'll be a deorbiting vehicle attached to it that will bring it safely down over the Pacific Ocean. It'll burn up in the atmosphere, but a lot of large pieces will survive and come crashing down. There is, again, our flight operations. That's the previous one, and that is Apollo 1, for the crew that we lost in a fire back in 1967. That's the Spaceflight Memorial emblem. I designed that with the help of Michael Okuda from Star Trek back in 2003. We started work on it a month or two after we lost Columbia, and we wanted to remember all of our fallen astronauts. So we included elements of the Columbia patch, the Apollo 1 patch, and the Challenger patch, and then worked up the logo at the top, the Latin expression ad astra per spera semper exploro, which basically says it's a rough road to the stars, but always explore. So that patch hangs above the other three patches in all of our active control rooms in the MCC.
So it hangs up in the active control rooms at the Houston Ground Control.
Yes.
You said that you had collaboration with someone from Star Trek?
Michael Okuda. He was the scenic arts consultant and or scenic arts supervisor and technical consultant for Star Trek, beginning with the fourth movie. And then the Next Generation and every series since then through the Star Trek Enterprise. He wasn't involved in the 2009 movie or the ones like that, but a recent Picard series that was released, he was involved with that again, and he's heavily involved with the sort of speculative series on Apple Plus called For All Mankind.
Oh, yeah. I just love showing all these. Now, you did this one, right?
No. That was the patch for Challenger.
Oh, yeah, okay.
S-51L mission. The one that had the teacher on it, Christy McAuliffe.
Oh, yeah, that's a memorial. Sure.
Yep, you can see the apple that represented her.
Oh, yeah, right there, the apple. And
she
then
was the school teacher. And I do not know who did the SpaceX mission patches. Usually it's the crew that gets involved with that, and they work with an artist to get it. But all of
was this one, too, kind of the same?
But they all use a dragon because the spacecraft is called a dragon.
Oh, right, okay.
So every SpaceX patch will have some form of a dragon involved.
Well, I just love showing your artwork. I'm going to show a few of your, I know we're going to get to more of your questions, but I just want to show these. He signed these, guys. These are mouse pads he created for the folks at NASA at Mission Control on their computer consoles there when they're taking care of the folks. Tell me about this one.
Well, that was for the second Dragon mission that went to space station with their crewed vehicle. The first one was a test flight with no crew. This was the first time they launched a crew, so it was two people on board. And I tried to do a mouse pad for there's those new or special events that happen. And so we did this one for Dragon mission or demonstration mission 2. After that DM2 mission, they did the crew 1 with 4 people on board, and right now the 11th crewed mission from SpaceX is up there. This was one for Apollo 8. It was recognizing the 50th anniversary since Apollo 8 flew. And I did one. I have a design for all of the Apollo missions, but I only have mouse pads for a few of them.
Well, I have 100 of them, so I'm just going to go through a few. I love these. I give them to everybody with a computer, then I save one set for myself. But what about this one real quick?
A Starliner, that's the other crewed spacecraft, commercial crew spacecraft. Dragon's one, Starliner's the other. Boeing created this one. This one's had some problems getting up into space safely. This was for their first mission, and that one had a lot of challenges. It came back down okay, but it led to an unexpected second test flight. And then we did our first crew flight back in, launched in June of last year. And it was a 7 to 10 day mission that ended up keeping the crew up there for almost 9 months. The spacecraft came back a few months later, but empty. And they're still working on getting the next launch they'll do will be another uncrewed launch just to make sure they got all their fixes done. Artemis 1. This was our first mission around the moon since Apollo 17. No crew on board, but it was a spacecraft designed for about a 26-day mission. It was incredibly successful. I was able to support launch and landing of that one and quite a few of the on-orbit missions. So it was really great sitting in the control room and seeing some of the live video coming back from around the moon, from beyond the moon, where you can see the moon kind of small, but the Earth even smaller way in the background. Really spectacular. And of course, Artemis 2 is scheduled to launch in February of next year, and that'll carry the 4 astronauts up for a mission around the moon. They're not going to land on this one. It's a test flight again, but with crew on board. And then sometime the following year, we should be putting people on the moon again with Artemis 3.
I see. I have a whole collection of these ones you did for the 50th anniversary.
Right, that's Apollo 11. That's the first one I did.
And then there's different versions of this one. You did that one with the Kennedy and the astronaut. Then you did with this one. With these are, this is
That's Apollo 13.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did those, I tried to include the crew and the lead flight director sort of in the center portion of it. And I had different pictures from the mission that were included in it. And Apollo 13 being the rescue flight, that mission on the bottom with people raising their hands up, that's Gerald Griffin with his arm in the air and Gene Kranz next to him. That was after they landed safely back on Earth. And needless to say, the scene in the control room was probably even more joyous than what they showed in the Apollo 13 movie.
And then I'll just show one more. Then I'm going to get. I just love this, Bill. Know that all of the stuff you give me is enjoyed and appreciated. So this is just a different flight, right?
That was Apollo 17. That was the last time we went to the moon in 1972. And you can see the crew up there, and again, the launch, the recovery at sea, and some of the images on there, the crew in the middle, and the flight director team next to them.
And then I love the Moonmobile, the rocket. So I have I have a couple questions. One is from, I believe it's Jason in Virginia. He says, what are your feelings about the plans to put a nuclear facility on the moon?
I really don't know much about that. That was just brought up recently. I've heard a little bit about it. We have to have a good power source up there.
That's,
so
yeah.
If they do it correctly, it probably makes a lot of sense. But again, I don't know any of the details. So it's hard to express an opinion when you don't know.
So if I got another question, I think this was from my friends in Sweden. Hello, Sweden.
Hello.
We have 4 sisters in Sweden that always log in. If they've been coming on for over 200 days now. But they're saying, how can they get a patch or a sticker or a mouse pad or something? I mean, are these available anywhere?
Well, stickers, you should be able to go to a NASA online store. I'm not sure. If you just do a search on NASA decals, it'll probably take you to a place where you can order them.
Okay, so I shouldn't give them your cell phone number right now. They can text you. Probably not a good idea.
Probably not the best idea.
All right, say hi to Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan's on, and Thailand came on.
Very cool.
Hello, Thailand. Hello. Okay, so we're going to be drawing the cupola in a few minutes, but I have a few more questions here to ask Bill. So you've already, what was the, so I said, what was the most interesting time of your, you at ground control station? What was the most exciting? Yeah, tell me another exciting part of being there in that chair.
There's a lot of things that are, but sometimes on a quiet ISS shift, my chair, my console is right in front of the screens, and you'll see some amazing views of Earth as it floats by. One of the fun things that happens not often, but every now and then, is when the crew's asleep on ISS, it's just dark or it's early morning with the team on console, and there's a pass of the space station over Houston. I'll put up a clock counting down to when it'll become visible on the board, and then we'll all go outside, watch it fly over to the MCC, and then go back inside and see.
Oh my gosh!
That's one of the.
That is cool. That is, I can just imagine that. I like the stories of when you take your break and you walk around the building down there at Johnson Space Center, and how you see the deer. It's in Houston, right? So you see a lot of deer and wildlife, and it's a huge campus. It's how many acres is it? A lot. It's big.
Over 600 acres.
600 acres.
A lot of it was donated by Rice University to NASA back in the early 60s. NASA bought some additional acreage. It's probably more wooded area than anything else. The central part's built up for the campus, for all the buildings that support it. But the deer come in right outside the control center. There's a series of 3 ponds and large grassy areas where the deer like to hang out at night. And a lot of times during the day, you'll see them just laying in the sun or wandering around. You'll see rabbits, armadillos. Every now and then we see a skunk. Try to avoid those when we see them.
You gotta make sure you include the skunk in your wildlife tour.
Yep.
Hey, Robert Newstead.
Coyote are out there. Alligators are there. You don't see those too often, thank goodness. But
Robert Newstead, my co-creator and executive producer of the Imagination Station, that one of the shows that your family grew up watching. He's on. He said hi. He said it's really cool.
Oh, really?
But he has a question here all the way from Chicago. Robert, thanks for joining us. This is so great. He wasn't sure he was going to be able to come on, so it's always a kick to have Robert come on. Robert and I have a lot of history. 40 years ago, he was in the director's booth talking to me in the IFB, the earpiece, telling me things I forget because, I'm me and I ramble on in stream of consciousness and say, remember to do this, remember to do this. I think I told you this story, how sometimes if you watch the repeats that I'll be just drawing, then all of a sudden I'll say, oh yeah, that's right, I'll remember to say that. But just so it sounds like I'm talking to my hand, right, when I'm drawing, but I'm talking to Robert in the director's booth. And we wouldn't edit it because it was just too expensive and take too long to stop. So I just kind of leaned into it, oh yeah, that's just me, my eccentric artist ways. But he has a question here. He said, what should one study in school if they want to work for NASA?
The easy thing is STEM: science, technology, engineering, and math. Pick something that you like or that excites you.
So science, technology, engineering, and math. And during the pandemic, when you jumped on with me, I remembered that we were drawing. I think I was drawing the lunar lander or the Orion, and you mentioned that, and then I said, wait a minute, we got to put A in the middle for STEAM, for art, science, technology, engineering, art, which is really big giant capital A, in math, because all the other pursuits are very noble and crucial and critical for all the math and science involved in human space exploration. But without the vision, without the creativity, without the imagination to actually, imagine and compel humankind to pursue this dream. We wouldn't. It wouldn't, make any sense. So art really is the tapestry that pulls it all together.
And STEAM is one of the acronyms that I've seen out there. So art is in the mix. Mr. Moore at NASA would certainly agree with you.
So and then that I talked to Robert for a bit before I got on with you, and I was asking him for some questions, and one of the things was, do you ever dream about going up in space yourself?
Oh, I would love to go up in space. It's not going to happen for me. I don't have the money for the commercial space flights that took William Shatner up, and I'm just not astronaut material. But yeah, I would love to go up in space. I've experienced different parts of that. I've been on the Vomit Comet a few times.
That was my next thing. Tell us the story about you. That was the Starliner training, right?
Well, this was early in my career as an engineer.
Okay, so tell us about that.
They were looking for volunteers because when you send somebody up in space, frequently they'll be sick for a while, motion sickness. And so the Vomit Comet back then was a KC-135, a modified Boeing 707 aircraft. The KC-135 is typically a refueling tanker for other airplanes, but this one was modified, most of the seats taken out, and it would fly out over the Gulf of Mexico, and it would go up at a 45-degree angle, climb from around 20,000 feet to 30,000 feet, and then it would arc over and head back down. And during that period of time that it was moving over the top of the arc, the aircraft was falling as it was at the same speed that you inside are falling. And so relative to the aircraft around you, you're weightless. So when you're doing that, and it only lasts 25, maybe 30 seconds if you're lucky, you're floating around. I did 5 flights. Each flight had 40 parabolas, 40 times that you're weightless for about 30 seconds. And the negative side of that is when you come out of that parabola and you go down and you sort of do a reverse parabola at the bottom, getting ready to go back up again, you go from weightless to twice your weight in a short period of time. And there was one time I was sitting on a rack, like a bench that had all the parachutes in it for emergencies with the canvas top. I was sitting on that. We went into weightlessness. I floated off of it and didn't realize I had floated a little bit to the side. And we came back into 2 times gravity, and I was right over a tool kit. And I came down hard on the corner of a metal toolbox.
Yeah.
Carried that bruise for a while.
Well, you got a bruise for the adventure.
But there's another one where you're just doing somersaults in the air like you've seen astronauts do on the space station. And it's an incredible feeling.
Oh my gosh! I always remember them drinking the juice, like apple cider or something. They put the droplets out in the air. Did you do that?
Yep. And if that's always fun. And if you've seen the movie Apollo 13,
yeah,
and you see all the scenes when they're up in space and they're weightless, they really were weightless because they filmed those scenes inside that Vomit Comet.
Wow!
The best weightless scenes you'll ever see in a movie was Apollo 13, because indeed they were.
They just they created that set inside the cargo hold, huh?
They did.
Wow. So we're going to tonight, thank you so much for this, being here with us, Bill. This is just a treat. We're going to be drawing the cupola, and I wanted you to tell us a little bit about these pictures I printed up off of Google. Can you tell us about this?
Well, that's one of the places that astronauts on space station love to spend their free time. The cupola has 7 windows on the bottom of the station, looking down, and it's got this panoramic view of the Earth. So they will go there and just look into space. A lot of times they'll take.
Do you know who that is?
Oh,
it's an astronaut. She's up. She's chilling. She's chilling in the cupola.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, my eyes are not picking up well on the picture.
Oh, what? Are we getting old or something here, Bill? Yeah, there we go. So 7 windows, and it's that was a module that they. What year did they put it on?
Cupola went up on STS 130. Guessing it was either 2009 or 2010. It was an interesting mission because just prior to that mission, I was at the Goddard Space Flight Center and went up for their readiness review for the mission. And I left there the day before, actually the day of one of their biggest snowfalls in history, like 50 inches of snow fell. And a lot of people in the airport, when I was just on my regular time going back home, they were there trying to get away from the area. The people at Goddard rented hotel rooms, rented snowmobiles to get their people to and from their control center so it wouldn't impact the mission that launched a few days later. So it was interesting and memorable for that point, but that's when they took the cupola up and put it in. And one of my favorite flight directors, who's also an astronaut or was one, TJ Creamer, who also sent the first live tweet from space. And I can't find the picture. I looked for it, but he sent it when he was on station. He sent a picture down to the ground of all 3 astronauts that he was able to Photoshop up there outside the cupola looking in without spacesuits.
Oh my gosh! Wait, I got Susan just came in. I want her to say hi to you. Hey, Susan.
Good morning.
Here she is. This is Susan's coming in. Here, yeah, put you on. Okay, hold on, Bill. Susan wants to say hi. So here we go.
Good morning.
Hi.
How are you? Good to see you.
We
Thank you.
we look at my hair.
Y'all sure you don't want to come along?
I missed that. What was that?
What?
I say our cruise is just about a month or so away.
Oh, I wish we could. We're going back east for my mom's birthday.
I know.
Yeah.
One of these days,
Yeah.
you've been on what 119 cruises with your wife Debbie. I'm joking about the 119, but you've been on a lot of cruises here. I forgot how to. Oh, there it is. Okay. Look at Bill's getting up. He's getting some cruise memorabilia probably. Hey, there it is. Okay, wait a minute. I got to show this to. It's reversed, so it's Carnival. It's reversed for us. Rotanga. No, you're silly. That's funny. That is very funny, Mister. October 2025. Roatan, Costa Maya, and Cozumel. All right. Hey, Linda or Susan. Linda says hi. She shut the door so Pop won't come in. Real quick before we start drawing the cupola, can you tell me about this picture, Bill?
Well, the cupola has windows on it because it has covers for the windows. So if they're not needing to look out of it at any given time, they close those covers. And that's to protect the glass from micrometeorite debris in space. So this is how it would look from the outside if people need to be looking out. Again, if they had no reason to do that to protect the windows, they close it.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, Bill, this is the drawing that we're going to do. We did this a couple years ago with you. Remember that?
I do.
So I'm gonna draw that. I'm gonna give everybody a minute to get their paper and pencil. Bill, you're welcome. I'd love you to hang on with us and draw with us. Or do you have to go now?
I can watch, but you can draw.
Okay. So stay on. I'm gonna give it. I'll be off mic for about 1 minute. Stand by. You can entertain them if you see some questions, folks. You can send Bill a question direct.
I'll be looking. It's small, so if you see me staring real close, that's why. Well, while he's off, one of the things you talk about interesting or exciting moments in space. I was on console for the launch of STS-93 back in 1999, I think it was. That was the first mission where we had a female commander of a space shuttle, Eileen Collins. It was sitting with the team. We had just launched. it had maybe about 3 or 4 minutes into launch, we got indications that one of the controllers, main engine controllers, had failed. Each of the space shuttle main engines had 2 computers that controlled it. One is the prime and one is the backup. So if you lose one, you still have control with the backup. If you lose both of them, the engine might explode, no longer being controlled. And so going uphill, we lost one controller on one main engine. And that meant that since we didn't know why you lost it, we didn't know what was going on, that the space shuttle could blow up at any moment. The team responsible for that, the booster officer talking to flight director, and the Capcom talking to Eileen Collins on the space shuttle, the conversation was so calm and it was so nominal. You wouldn't think anything was wrong. Just another simulation where that type of thing happened a lot. And a few minutes later, another main controller on a different main engine failed. So now you know that something major is happening. You don't know what. But what was impressive was just how the team that was responsible for that was so calm, so collected, just passing calls. Matter of fact, nothing else failed the rest of the way up, so it did make it on space, and they found out that there were a lot of wiring problems that affected all the orbiters that led to that, and they were able to fix it. They stood down missions for a few months, and they got all of that fixed. But just working with a team that in the face of imminent disaster remains calm. And that's one of the things that always impresses me about being in mission control. There's a lot of other scenarios where that type of thing happens, and you watch the team work. And that's one of the reasons we do simulations. We do a lot of simulations leading up to a mission where a training team causes failures like that to happen, so that we can and try to recover from things without going into panic mode.
Robert just said, nerves of steel and true bravery under pressure.
The people that I work with are amazing.
Yeah, professional. Well, hey, Bill, this is awesome. You're going to hang out with us when we draw the cupola, huh?
I'm going to watch.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, well, thank you. This is the picture we're going to draw. I'll show YouTube and Facebook. And I got to readjust myself here. And we'll do another quick location check, you guys. Let's do that. And I'm going to move the camera around so that you guys can see what I'm doing on Facebook and YouTube. Wasn't that fun, you guys? Everybody give Bill a yahoo, a yippee. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And there's Bill. You're so cool.
I'm going to see if I can find that cupola photo of TJ outside.
Okay, you look around for that and we'll get started. But first I want to do a location check. We got Sweden. I got to add Sweden to our list up here. And if you guys want to do a location check on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, or on Instagram, make sure you let me know. We have Denmark already. Kyrgyzstan. Hello, Kyrgyzstan. Good to see you. We have Chicago. Hello, Chicago. Great to see you. Jason Schiller says, thanks, Bill. And Jason's in Virginia. I like to add these in here. Linda says, thank you, Bill. We have Thailand that joined us today. And any other locations before I start the cupola drawing here? Yvonne Welsh, thank you for joining us from Texas. We have Patty from Oregon. Well, Bill, Yvonne Welsh and Ken Welsh and all my kids and my art teachers, they met you in person. They saw you through the windows. Remember, we were up in the viewing gallery, and you put up that cool logo. Here, I still have a picture of it in my book. This is the book that you wrote the foreword for, and yeah, there it is. Bill, you're such a stud. So, anyways, he surprised me. This is how my first day I met Bill was when he projected this up by the the image of the International Space Station. I'm trying to get it on here, Bill, the image. This is a black and white version, but isn't that cool? Look at that. He put that up there. Remember doing that, Bill?
I do.
So then I've been back, totally wearing out my welcome, probably a half dozen times, and each time Bill does a really cool, unique graphic for us, puts it right up there next to the world map and the International Space Station tracking and the astronauts floating around. The last one was probably my favorite, very special one. Susan and I went down there and visited you and Debbie, and you put up that picture with Susan there. You don't have that by any chance, do you?
I do. Let me go find it.
Oh, we got British Columbia, we got Canada, we got Oregon. Great to see you. Oh, thank you, Yvonne. Yvonne loved our, and we have India. Bill, India joined us.
Hello, India.
Hello, India. And, okay, there we go. So let's go and do our drawing now. All right. So we're going to draw the cupola, and it's the 7 windows. It's the viewing module that that NASA installed so that the astronauts could have a view of home. Isn't that nice? Isn't that wonderful? So I'm going to zoom this camera in here so you get all the pictures. All right, so let's get going here, and thank you for all your questions, and thank you for viewing us from around the world. Wherever you are, I'm really glad you log in. This is day number 228 of our consecutive days, and I'm going to start the cupola very lightly. I'm going to draw the center window right here, and I start really light, you guys. Start real light. We'll block it in here, and then I'm going to add the 6 windows on the outside. I'm going to zoom our camera in just a bit. Oh, wait. Bill's got it. That's cool. There's the, oh, that's wonderful. Bill, hold on. Let me focus this so you can see it out there. Isn't that neat? There's Susan, and there's me, and there's me as Commander Mark. Well, hold on. I'm going to get rid of the comments here. 1 second. There we go. Oh, Bill, that's so cool that you found that. That's awesome. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Bill.
You bet.
Yeah. Special times. That was a really cool day. Wonderful day. That's the day I caught you and your wife Debbie out in the hallway. You were kissing. You were necking. That was. You didn't know I took a picture and put it on Facebook. I thought that was pretty romantic. After how many years of marriage?
Only 41.
Only 41 years, and you guys, you still are great friends, and just such. Okay, so I'm going to put 6 windows on. I'm going to taper it out. I'm going to draw lightly. Then I'm going to be drawing one of the characters, characters. I just called the astronaut a character. One of the, if I can find my image of it. I just had it up here, Bill. This is what happens. I lose something. Here it is. So I'm going to sketch it in, and then I'm going to draw one of the astronauts floating with their hair floating, and then outside a spacewalker out here. Linda just said, great picture, Linda Nelson. Thank you for that. And I'm going to draw this outer ring here. I'm going to raise this camera up so I have room to draw. So I'm going to put this out. And now you don't have to be perfect. Remember, that's where I got this whole idea of license to flop. You have to fail to succeed. This is what I put onto all of our Draw Artemis live 1 hour programs that we did live during the pandemic. I was interviewing with Jack Moore and Patricia Moore. They helped co-create this whole series. It was 8 episodes of talking and drawing components of the Artemis mission. Bill, what's tell us again about the Artemis mission and how they named it. But before you do, I got to remind you guys, the reason the test to failure, they test, as Bill just mentioned this, they test all the components till failure so they know where the breaking point is and how to strengthen and how to fix it, right? Is that right, Bill?
That is correct.
So that's where I got this license to make mistakes. You have to fail to succeed. You got to test your drawing, got to push your comfort zone. And as our mutual friend Jack Moore says, you got to chase your curiosity. You remember that, Bill?
Yes, indeed.
So go ahead and tell us about the Artemis, the name, how they came up with the name Artemis.
So Artemis is the direct follow-on for Apollo. Artemis, the sister, Apollo was the first time we went to the moon, and now we're taking not just male astronauts back to the moon, but female astronauts. So Artemis is to indicate that it's open to everyone. For our first mission back to the moon, we're going to have Christina Koch as one of the crew members, and we'll have 2 other U.S. astronauts and 1 Canadian astronaut going. So it's going to be not just international, but it's going to be as diverse a crew as we can get, not just for Artemis 2, but all for the rest of the missions that we send up that way.
That's fantastic. So I'm drawing the 7 windows, Bill, and now I'm going to put the astronaut here. I'm going to put, as he said, there's going to be Artemis is including women in the mission. That's why they named Artemis is Apollo's goddess, right? Apollo's the Greek god, and Artemis was Apollo's goddess. Am I correct with that?
Yeah, that is my understanding. I'm not an expert on Greek mythology, but
yeah. Well, I'm going to sketch in the astronaut here, and you get to pick which one of these astronauts this is going to be, Bill. So I'm going to draw my little astronaut here, and I'm going to draw her arm going back here in the distance, and she's going to be waving to the. I'm going to draw the thumb going down. I'm blocking this in. I'm sketching it real lightly here. And curving it, and then now this arm's going to come closer, so I'm going to have this arm coming down from, and it's tapering out. See, I'm blocking it in, sketching real lightly to begin with, and this fun, you guys. And Bill's still there with us. Bill, you're still on camera, you handsome devil. So I'm going to curve, and then I'm going to draw the gloved hand here. This is one of our astronauts floating there. This arm's smaller, so it's further away. Can you guys tell that? And then I'll draw her eyes here, her nose, and her smile. Hello, Hoppin' for Flowers. Good to see you. Hello, Nauman. Good to see you. Hello, Ronald. Hello, Vincent. Where are you guys from? What city, what state, what country? We're drawing the cupola. So I'm going to draw this this astronaut here that's floating up here in the cupola window. I'm going to draw some of her hair floating here. Almost looks like a flame, like a fire. But I love drawing that floating hair to find the gravity. Now I draw a light. I'm going to darken it as I go. See, we just draw her hair floating there. And so I'm going to draw the eyes. Now I'm going to start darkening it in a little bit, and then we'll put the thickness. There's our expression, and she's going to be looking out the window here. And outside the window over here, I'm going to put I'm going to draw this astronaut that's floating out here. Okay, there's this astronaut guy's floating. And there's our little astronaut guy. Guy or gal, right? Right, Bill, nowadays. And then we'll draw the astronaut's helmet. And then I think I'm going to put the arm coming in front here. And then draw the legs here is floating. Isn't that fun, you guys? You guys having fun? Give me a 1 through 5. Who's drawing with me out there? You guys drawing with me? I'll back this up. So this is going to be the window, and this window is one of the 7 that's in the cupola. And I'm just sketching in lightly here, and then I'll erase these other lines. So this is going to be our end result. This is what we're shooting for. See that right there? Hey, we have Ronald coming on here. Hello, Ronald. We have one of our viewers say namaste. Hello, Amanda. Good to see you. We have Massachusetts. Hello. We have Carissa. And now I'm going to draw the inside of the cupola, the window here. And then there's our friend, our astronaut floating around in here. Love the hair. See, now I'm darkening it in here for you. You guys enjoying it? Give me a 1 through 5. Oh, we got a 33. We got a 10. We got a 5. So glad you guys are here with me on this special day where we have William Foster, Mr. Bill, live in person. Woohoo! So then I'm going to put the little spacesuit that they're wearing. Do they wear uniforms up there, Bill? They do, right?
In space, they wear just whatever clothes they want to. Once they're on the space station, when they're launching or returning, they're in spacesuits. But
yeah, and they can't, and they can't do laundry, right? They have to be pretty frugal with what they bring, right? Because if they're going to be up there 5 months.
Yep, they having enough clothes to wear, they wear it as much as they can, but basically it's thrown away after a while.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. So what do you think of our little floating hair astronaut right here?
I think you've captured it.
Isn't that fun? She's floating around, reaching out here. Put the shading, and then outside, I'm going to draw the helmet of the floating, the spacewalker, right? And you can see this fellow, this little gloves. You guys having fun? Hey, it's frozen for you, Bill. There we go. Do you guys, is it still frozen for you guys on Instagram? I hope it pops back up. I'm going to keep going here.
I see you moving.
Yeah, I see you moving too. So it's not frozen for me, and you're going here with me. So sorry if it's frozen for you guys. Be patient. I'm sure it'll pop back up. Maybe it's just a connection issue. But we are going rather long today because Bill's so fascinating.
You're doing a thing.
So I'm adding the windows. I'm going to put thickness on these windows here. There's the backpack, our spacewalker backpack. And then I'll shade it. But you can still see it, right, Bill?
I can still see it. Sadie can see it too.
Oh, you see it here? Who else can see it? You guys send me a comment if you can see the doggy. The doggy's not yapping. I'm amazed.
She will be.
Okay, give her a minute, right? Give her a minute. All right, our video ended on that's all right. Hold on a second here, Bill. I'm still going to finish the drawing. 1 second here. I'm still going to finish the drawing. I still got some shading to do, but I'm going to come back for part 2 of this. I'm going to write part 1. I'll put part 1 at the top. All right, I'm going to do a part 2 on Instagram. For some reason, I'm getting weird stuff going here. All right, stand by 1 second. You don't know this is going to be, well, I kind of warned you it might be an hour, so it's 1 hour 4 minutes. You're okay, Bill? Oh, I lost you, Bill. Copy. 1 second here, guys. I'm going to go for part 2. Okay, I am back. We're doing part 2 here I don't know if Bill will be able to come back on, but it was such a pleasure to have him. Really great. I think I might have hit my limit, but hello, guys. Good to see you back. And we'll make sure that we extend a big, giant hello and thank you to Bill. We've got lots of hearts coming up from our friends out there. Hey, Colette, good to see you again. I'm going to focus this. Jason's back again. Thank you, guys. Can you hear me okay? Let me know. I'm going to put the thickness. This is a fun one. See, now we just start adding the thickness, and we're going to add the planet back down here. Then we're going to add the shading. I love the cupola. Hello, Zikra. How you doing there? Good to see you. Great, great, great. Oops. I forgot that our astronaut is floating here, so we will erase this, and we'll have our astronaut floating, and I'm going to put a shadow under their arm. And hey, hello, Danielle. Okay, sure. I'll make sure I post where you can get some of Bill's artwork on his mouse pads and his coins, and what a great guy, and what a dedicated scientist, civil servant that he's given 40 years of his service to us. Good to see you, Egypt. Let's add Egypt to our list. Hello, Egypt. Thank you for joining us today. And thank you for the kind comment, Linda. That's wonderful. Thank you, guys, for joining us. Now, I'm going to add the thickness here. That's the one on top. Actually, you know what? You're going to see a little bit on both sides of these. So I'm going to add a little bit of shading. Add a little bit of shading here. Hey, Spread Your Sparkle, thanks for coming back to part 2. I guess maybe it was an hour. Maybe I have an hour limit. Is that what happened, you guys? Because I know I went over an hour. I went to hour. I'm at an hour and 7 minutes right now for this wonderful special edition of our cupola. So this is what we're drawing. We're drawing a little image of the space viewing window here. You guys can see that. The cupola, the module, the viewing window from the International Space Station. I love it. Well, it's my funny interpretation of the cupola. All right. Linda's loving every minute of our special program. Thank you, guys. I have some special guest announcements. We have this week coming up here. We have more special guests. Dan Frega, the amazing illustrator and comic illustrator from Image Comics, and he worked on like Silver Surfer, Batman, Spider-Man. Just an amazing illustrator. He did on YouTube. His channel is Couch Doodles. Check out Couch Doodles on Instagram, and check out Dan Frega Boom on Instagram. Let me focus that. Sorry about the out of focus moment there. And so he's coming on. Dan Frega is going to be our special guest. He's going to be drawing with us. I'm actually going to do a drawing with him. He's going to do the drawing lesson. That'll be this Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific time. 8 a.m. this Thursday. If you want to draw with a very, very famous comic illustrator, he's so well known. I was in India on the subway, and I was just so excited to be in India that I called Dan. It was like 3 in the morning where he lives in Atlanta. And I started talking to him on the subway in India, and the college kids sitting across the train from me heard me say, Dan Frega, hello. And then they freaked out because they know Dan Frega from his Dan. Frega Boom. Dan has a wonderful saying that he coined that it's like a mantra that I say now, and it's Imagination, manifestation. You know, manifest your imagination. Imagination, manifestation. I love it. So I'm going to put the thickness down here along the bottom, along the side. Now over here, I'm going to draw the planet here. See, so here's Earth. There's the horizon line of Earth. Okay, and you see the astronaut here floating. There's our astronaut floating, ducking in the suit here, maybe a little bit. And guys, do you love it? Give me a 1 through 5. Are you guys enjoying drawing our cupola? I'm going to put some reflections in the window. Isn't that cool? Here's waving. Hello. Floating around here. Hello, Liz. Les, how you doing here? Hello, Lofner. Good to see you. Hello, Heb. Good to see you coming back. Location check, you guys. Let's do a quick location check. Where are you from? What country? What state? We have Egypt, Oregon, Virginia, Sweden, Mexico, Spain, Germany, North Carolina, Massachusetts, San Diego, Istanbul, Denmark, Mississippi, North Carolina, Texas, Canada, Brazil, Kyrgyzstan, Chicago, Thailand, and India. And we have Indianapolis. We have Indiana. Hello, Indiana. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Lots of locations there. And I'm going to put the space guy, see back behind there? I'm going to put that sky back there. See that? Okay. That fun? Hey, from France. Hello, France. I didn't get France yet. Hi, France. Great to see you. Hi, France. This is day number ready. This is Mark Kistler Live. Let's put our logo down here, our title, Mark Kistler Live, L-I-V-E. Of course, I like to put our pencil coming down here with our little shadow, like an exclamation mark. Get it? Exclamation mark. And I'll curve the contour lines. Little action lines here. And then this is Mark Kistler Live. I'm going to put, this is day number 229 days consecutive. The date today is August 17th, 2025. We're at 577,000 of you enthusiastic creatives that are joining me. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Bush. Thank you, Roger, all on YouTube. Great to see you guys. Wonderful to have you. And I just really enjoyed talking live with my good buddy, William Foster, Mr. Bill. Big shout out to his wife, Debbie. Debbie with a Y, D-E-B-B-Y-E. I made the mistake of spelling her name D-E-B-I-E. Pretty funny, got the wrath of Debbie. With the Y here, darken down here. Putting the space value back behind here. See that? I'm going to put that space. Oops, it came off the camera up here. All right, let me move the camera around here. You guys having fun? So, great to see you guys. Thank you for being here with us. This is episode number 229, or day number 229. 577,000 of you guys drawing with me. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm going to add a little more value here to the feet and then to the cuffs. Oh, thank you for the kind comment. I'm enjoying. You can hear my dog Poppy going crazy here. Shade. Well, guys, I want to thank you guys. If you have any last-minute location checks, any last-minute questions, if anybody wants to send me a little salutation, thank you to Bill, William, Mr. William Foster. Put in the texture in the sky back here. And I am just so glad I had so much fun drawing this one. You could put a NASA patch up here if you want. Should put a NASA patch. Put a NASA patch on her shoulder. All right, I'll put a little NASA patch. Why not? Put a little NASA patch there. I can't resist. A little NASA patch. NASA floating around here. Okay, guys. Well, there you go. There is our. Oh, look, I'm still adding shading here. You can put the countries and the regions, the continents down here. Well, thank you guys very much for your kind comments. You can send me emails. Be sure to post your artwork to Facebook or to Instagram, Pound Mark Kistler or Pound Mark Kistler Live, so I can see it. You can always email it to me too. Stars, not stars. Oh, well. Thank you for your helping me keep myself enunciating. There you go, guys. Thank you, everybody from all over the world for joining us, and for the 577,000 of you who have drawn with me so far this wonderful 2025 project of drawing live. I had some questions and some notes about all of you kind folks who are checking my books out here, and I wanted to show you, but oh, here they are. I want to thank you guys for getting my books, Drawing in 30 Days. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is my bestseller. Hope you guys picked that up from Amazon.com. These small ones right here, these are 8.5 by 11 thin books, and I just lowered the price from $15 to $10. They're wonderful draw series, cartoon animals, robots and gadgets, crazy cartoons, and there's 3 of them altogether. I have 4 of them. I don't have the 4th one somewhere. Imagination Station, that's a wonderful book. Grab that, Drawing in 3D. This is a self-published You Can Draw in 30 Seconds book that we published during the pandemic, and it's a great book, 230 pages, something like that. We reduced the price from $20 to $15. Hope you guys can get a hold of that. We got wonderful notes and invitations to speak at schools and elementary, middle, and high schools and universities and art galleries and art centers. Thank you I love doing live in-person appearances, so schedule your day. We got several new members coming in for Draw 3D, and if you want, I'm going to give you the 50% code. I'll give you the 50% code. Ready for this? Here's the 50% code. I'm going to flip my paper over. If you want to Draw 3D, if you want 75%, tell you what, it's all caps. And if you go to the draw3d.com, you're right, and you type in all caps, draw 75 off. This is at draw3d.com, okay? And you pick the 12-month family, 12-month membership. Okay, it's usually $199. It'll be $49 for you, and that's for Draw 3D. And I want to thank you guys for signing up, for getting that. Really, really cool. All right, guys, attitude of gratitude. Thank you. Stay cool, stay creative, stay joyful, and stay super hospitable and kind to each other. The world needs more joy than the world needs more kindness. Thank you again, Mr. Bill Foster, for an amazing guest appearance. Okay, coming up this Thursday, Dan Fraga, 8 a.m. Coming up next Sunday, my co-star from The Secret City. You might remember this guy. The Secret City down here, Joel Gorey. He played Cindy the Dragon. He played Meta Man. It's Joel Gorey coming live from Pennsylvania. It's a very, very cool guy, very friendly. He was my co-star Secret City 40 years ago. He's going to be a live guest next Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific time. We're starting to get a lot more guests coming in. Thanks, guys. Stay cool, stay creative. I'll see you next time. I love you. Bye, everybody.